Hey everyone, I'm back to do another little video for this here 2005 Norco Atomik downhill mountain bike. And yes, it's an older bike, but as anyone knows that has seen any of my other videos, I do like the more vintage frames. Not so much as the vintage parts, but definitely the frames. So I want to show you guys this one here. Normally this bike would come with I think it's the Marzocchi downhill forks. Of course, this one here had those on there, but I ended up changing those, and I went with something a little bit better. This here's the White Brothers downhill fork inverted with about 203 millimeter travel. Has, of course, a double crown, no arch above the tire. I don't know why, I just kind of like that. I like riding dirt bikes as well, and it kind of reminds me of a dirt bike. And let's see, right now I have the Avid UC5 hydraulic brakes on here. Of course, those are really old. I'll be replacing those soon. Either with something a little bit better than these ones here, maybe something with the 4-piston calipers. This one here, I believe, let's see, I believe that's a 2-piston caliper. I'll probably upgrade to a 4. Kind of like what I did with this one here. That's the 2019. I think that's the Trans 2 GT. No, Giant Trans 2. Sorry, my bad. So yeah, I'll probably end up putting some of these on. Let's see, that's the Z, I guess. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can actually see that or not. Yeah, it's like, it says Z on there. But I'll probably put a pair of those on here. It's either that or the Shimano Saints. Of course, Shimano Saints cost quite a bit. Really good brakes, but it costs quite a bit. Let's see, I'll also be changing out the cranks. The cranks here, they're pretty old, so I'll probably end up changing those out. And let's see, I got the SLX back derailleur on there. I have a goat link right here, so I can run a bigger gearing. I know you guys probably think, what is this guy doing? You don't put that kind of gearing on a downhill. Well, I do. From time to time, I do. Let's see. The rear suspension is in really good condition. I believe that's a 6-inch or 7-inch travel. I can't remember exactly, but it's in excellent condition. Of course, I put a pretty decent stem on there. It's not the best, but certainly far from the worst. Let's see. And this shifter here, that one is an XT shifter. It's an 11-speed. However, I've had this one for a little while, and I mean not too long, but a little while. And it's not very good, actually. I'm guessing manufacturer's defect with that one. I've always had problems with it. Ever since I got it, nothing but problems. I'm thinking it's the gear ratio. There's that 2 to 1, 3 to 1, or whatever, I don't know. But with the derailleurs and then the shifters, there's that little bit of change that they did with Shimano, I guess. SRAM was doing it, and then Shimano started doing it. It's kind of weird, but that's what I'm guessing it is. So it may not be that the shifter is no good. It may be just that the it's not set up or compatible with the derailleur. That's what I'm guessing, because I had this one here on another bike. It was a GT hardtail mountain bike, and I had this derailleur on it, and then I had a different cassette on it. I thought it was a cassette, so I upgraded the cassette to something a little bit better, and it still did it. And then I took that off, put it on a different bike, and it still did it, you know. Then I put it on here, the shifter on here, and it's still doing. Now this here's a completely different setup, and it's still doing. So I'm guessing it has to do with that gear ratio that they started doing not too long ago. So I'm going to change this one here out and get one like this one that I have here. That one is a, I believe that's the SLX, yeah. That's the SLX that I have on there. That's for the front derailleur. So I figured, well, might as well go ahead and get another SLX for this one here. Be about 40 something bucks, roughly, give or take. Put that on there, see if that fixes the problem. It should. It should fix the problem, you know, that I'm having. Because I know that this derailleur here and this cassette is working perfectly with the shifters that are on there. And before it wasn't working perfectly. It was doing that weird skippy thingy that it was doing. So I figured, all right, well, get something else on there and see if it does it again. Hopefully it won't. 50-50, I don't know. The brakes here, I have, let me come around over here. All right, I have the mounts coming for them. They're for the 203 millimeter rotors, and in this little bag here, that bag I have the new rotors. Of course, they're not high end, they're Avid rotors, 203s. So I'm going to slap those on once I get the mounts for it and the shifter. Once I get that, it should be rideable by then. So that's my project. Now I've had this bike for a while, sold it off to a buddy of mine a couple years ago, and it sat in his garage, and he wasn't doing nothing with it, and he was like, hey, you know, I still got that mountain bike, you want it? I was like, sure, why not? You know, something else to waste my money on. But yeah, I got it back from him, and I've had it for about a month now, maybe a little more than a month. So I figured, you know, I'll build it up, make it look good again, make it work really good again. And this one here, I'll be riding that one once it starts warming up. I've taken it out for a test ride roughly a few weeks ago. Spent about $3,050 on this one. And then it sat in here for about 2 months without riding it. And I upgraded a lot of stuff on it, put different cranks on it, put a front derailleur on it, seat, handlebars, stem, brakes, rotors, front derailleur, chain, cassette, pedals, so forth, so on. You know, and took it out once, rode it around a little bit, brought it back, you know, got this wall hanging mount for the bike, put it up on the ceiling. Then it started getting cold and snowing and wind and storms, and well, it's been sitting there ever since. So hopefully won't be too much longer, you know, before I can actually go out and take it out and ride it around. as well as this one here. Now, if you guys seen any of my other videos, I have a friend named John, and I like to torture him. He's fun to torture. He's a cool guy, you know, really laid back. And I figured this one here would be a good one for him to ride around up in the foothills. I know, I'm evil. I'm so evil. I mean, this thing weighs a good 50 pounds roughly, give or take. I can't really remember how much exactly this thing here weighs, but it's a lot. And I'm just imagining this poor guy climbing the trails up in the foothills. Fun times. I'm evil, okay. But it's all in good fun, really, it is. It's in good fun. You know, so I'm gonna, his bike is, I mean, this one here is safer than his, all right? I was working on his in the back room over there, and this one here, it's safer. It'll climb better, kind of. It'll definitely set him up higher than the one he has. It's definitely way heavier than his by far. I mean, wow, this thing's got some weight. So I figured I'd torture him, but just a little bit of torture. I mean, not too much. So I figured let him ride this one, and let him see what it feels like, you know, to ride something of a really, really good quality. And hopefully everything will go good and he won't kill himself on it or beat up the bike too much, you know. And so this is the new project. This one's pretty much finished. This one's a new one now. Aside from the little tiny ones, this one here is like really big, really expensive, you know. So I want to do a little video, show it off, and let you guys see, you know, what it is I'm doing here. And if you'd like to comment, you know, go ahead, feel free to comment. If you want to like and subscribe, that'd be nice as well. So I wanted to show you guys what I've been doing, that I've done. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.